Alright, so to finish up the series with the Scion, well, series I suppose, it's more of a single video. So we got the engine in the Scion, it went in the reverse of the way that it came out, so try to be as detailed as possible without being boring or being too long in the video. So everything dropped back into place. We have new belts. We have a new timing chain, we have a new timing chain tensioner, we have new plugs, and you know, I find myself with a lot of spare parts. I have extra coils, I have extra pulleys and mounts and sensors and a variety of different things. Most of the sensors I transferred over from the engine that was in this car originally to this engine. One of the unfortunate things about buying a JDM engine is that you don't really know exactly what the donor car was, what the year was, what the VIN number was, to be able to compare what it was. So, you know, if it came out of a 2009 and this is a 2010, sensor might be different, might have a different plug, might have different settings. Chances are a lot of that stuff is the same. But you know, just on the side of caution, I put the original ones back in. So we do have a new battery in here as well. Everything's been running good. I have about 200 miles on the car since I put the engine in. We topped off the coolant. We've been checking the oil. We've been checking the transmission fluid. Everything seems really good. So the next step for me is I'm gonna work on cleaning the car, getting it polished up, getting it nice. I submitted the DMV paperwork. I got the smog done so that I could submit the DMV paperwork, so that's all done. You know, all in all, I went in 2 weeks from buying a car to having an engine in it. So I would say that that's a pretty reasonable time frame. So I'm waiting on the DMV for the title to come back, which will probably take me a month and a half to 2 months. In that time, I want to get the car cleaned up, make sure it's reliable. I want to get about 1,000 miles on the engine and do a service. I'm going to do an oil change. I'm going to do a new oil filter, air filter, and just kind of clean out everything and make sure that I'm not selling somebody something that's going to be a problem for them. And at that point, I'll check the transmission fluid. I probably will leave that alone, just adjust the level as needed. It did use a fair amount of transmission fluid. I want to say I used about 6 quarts. The normal service calls for 4 quarts, but I was able to, you know, get some out of the torque converter, out of the transmission cooler, and some of the other places in the car. So that's kind of what I'm chalking that up to. It uses Dexron VI, which I did have difficulty finding. There is a Valvoline oil that is a mixed ATF. It's this one, Max Life Full Synthetic ATF, that is supposed to work in a lot of different vehicles. I've seen mixed reviews on O'Reilly's website about it, so I was a little nervous, but it was all I could find and it worked fine. And then later on I found some regular Dexron VI, so I've been kind of topping it off with that, so I'm like 50-50 between those two. So yeah, runs good, passed smog. All of the IM monitors cleared. The you know, the scan tool shows all green. It runs good. It needs to be cleaned, so I'll do a couple things on cleaning it. Maybe I'll polish it up a little bit, just remove some of the heavier scratches and scuffs and things like that. I'm probably going to put tires on it, just because the tires that are on it are 7 years old and they're at the wear bars. So we'll figure that out. And then kind of go through the finances of it and see if it makes sense and if I would do it again, which I don't know. It's hard to be here successful and say that I wouldn't do it again, but it was a lot of work and a lot of risk, so I don't know that I would. But anyway, thank you for watching. Have a great day.